This is the Kruger National Park, one of the largest parks in Africa, home to the Big Five. You would normally traverse this park with a vehicle. We were mad enough to put everything that we need for 4 days and 3 nights on our backs and traverse it on foot. Join us as we take you on this incredible journey.
Ons het hier hierdie amazing gorge gestap en ons het olifante, klein troppie olifante gesien en ja, en nou is ons hier. Dit is net amazing.
We camped in Punda Maria Rest Camp the night before. We basically had to reorganize everything. This is my sister, Nerys, one of our trails guides. Our cousin Lillian, who has never camped before. Our longtime friend Carmen, who is always up for a challenge, and Mark, the legendary guide. And, of course, me. Day 1 finally arrived, and we were as ready can be. We headed to the Pafuri picnic site, where we filled up on some sandwiches, or whatever that may help. Lillian put it upon herself to give out cheese to everybody. Elephants came to drink. This was just a little bit of a pre-taste of what was waiting us on foot. We were currently in the safety of our vehicles still across the river.
Ons stap in single file altyd. So ek of hy sal voor wees en dan agter hom ek en dan julle almal. En dan ja, ons stap nie in 'n groep nie en ons probeer stil stap. Ja, ons praat nie. En dan as ons diere encounter, sal ons vir hulle sê wat om te doen, maar stop net en ons sal sê stop. En kyk net wat ons doen, maar moet net nooit hardloop nie. Dit is baie belangrik.
Whatever you do, don't
run.
And with that clear instructions not to run and some pre-trail jitters, we saw elephants. Completely different story to see them on foot. We kept our respectful distance, waited for them to pass, and then made our way into a beautiful gorge. The scenery is something out of a rainforest more than the bushveld, which we didn't expect. Some streams to navigate. We were feeling the heavy packs currently. The day was at its warmest, and we were happy to find some shade deep within the gorge. Mark probably saw our faces and decided to break.
Backpack daar het ek in 'n game tent gedoen. En slaap so hoek tot hoek. Ons is 400 rand. Ja, beste tent ooit. Ek koop elke jaar 'n nuwe een.
Ja. Ek maak wel my pasta.
It was time to move on as we were approaching late afternoon and find a place to camp for the night. We did not expect the sight that was awaiting us. Yes, we were going to camp on the banks of the Luvuvu River, completely and utterly alone, no humans around, other than, of course, the other 5 people, 4 people.
Ja, jy kan hier langs ons en dan my sus en dan maak. Wat 'n spot. Dis ons eerste kampplek langs die Leboewe rivier in die Kreerwiltuin en beleef dit. En het jy die kraanse gesien? Dit is fantasties.
Mariska, hoe was jou eerste dag hier op jou trails? Saam met Mark?
Ek sal sê ek is nie meer 36 nie. Die initiële 2 kilometer was 'n skok tot my stelsel. Ek en hierdie rugsak was op 'n tyd 1. Ja. Nie meer nie. Ons het 'n tydjie gevat om weer mekaar te leer ken. My heupe het afgebreek. Dankie Donna. En maar toe daarna, toe begin ons nou mekaar leer ken weer. En ja, dit was regtig bitter mooi. Wow. Ek het nie geweet die Kreer kan so lyk nie. Op 'n stadium het dit gelyk so 'n Magubus kloof. En kyk hierdie kampplek waar ons nou is, dis ongelooflik.
Heel lekker en ek het dit survive sover. Kyk hoe mooi lyk dit. Maar my hoogtepunt is alles. Dis net nie in die natuur toe. Kyk hoe mooi is dit. Let's go.
It was time for our evening bath. This is not a simple task. We need to do this in a river. Animals like to drink by the river, so we need to scout. Elephants, hippos, buffalo, and then not to talk about the crocodiles. We stayed in the shallows, but were very happy to get the day's heat and dirt off. We were soon settling into the normal chores of campsite life, and the sun was starting to set. It was time to take out the whiskey.
Ek drink konjak uit 'n plastiek.
Yes, konjak uit 'n
Koppietjie.
Or in some of the more finely bred in us, the cognac. We were wondering why Mark was carrying this heavy iron pan on his back, and it was to make us a fire. What a genius.
Kos is kos.
Kos is kos.
So wat het ons dop?
Check hom uit.
Ja.
En beef 10 minute noodles. Ek moes dalk 'n
So
cheese
jy
flavour
gaan
gevat het.
beef en tuna meng.
Ja, dis wat ek het 2 jaar daarop
It's a
survive
surf and
in die
turf.
koshuis. Ja,
It's a surf and turf
dis 'n seafood pasta. What are you talking about?
Wat is op jou menu?
Ek het mamma alles.
Ja. Wat se geur?
Dit is 'n mushroom risottootjie met 'n stukkie biltong vir 'n vleisie en 'n wizza vir 'n startertjie.
Aperitiewe.
'n aperitief. Ja.
Wat is op jou menu, sussie?
Dieselfde jong, mamma alles.
Ja, wat se
Risotto.
geur? Ook risotto.
Mushroom risotto. Heerlik.
En het jy ook 'n aperitiewe gehad?
Ek het my huis in.
Bellies were full, and we were happy as 4 hiking Jappies. We woke early the next morning with the iconic sound of spurfowl. And that's how you exit the tent. It was time to get the coffee on, as you do not want to see 4 decaffeinated women in the bush. Okay, that only took an hour, but we were off. It was a beautiful day and we were hugging the banks of the Leboewe River. The terrain started to get more rocky and we had to boulder. Easier said than done with 15 kilograms on your back, but we made it. riverbed gave some opportunity for Mark and Reese to nerd out over bird tracks. We waited patiently, as we had no idea what they were talking about.
O ja, hier is hy, mooi.
Yes,
Is hy op?
CMU. This is apparently Hadidas spoor. At last we came to the spot where we were able to fill up our water bottles. And here we had to fill up a lot, as we were not going to be near water until the afternoon again. We drank as much and then started to fill again. This was a good spot, as the chances of looking a crocodile in the eye was luckily low. We were steeling ourselves, as we knew we would leave the river soon. Yeah. Why not? We soon had to start to climb the mountain. These paths were very steep, and we could see elephants were using them, as we saw some dung. There was also fresh buffalo spoor and dung.
Ons breekspot.
Ja.
Sal nie sê ek's jammer nie.
Nee, is alright daarvan.
The views did make up for our fatigue, though, and we could see way down there where we started. The vegetation soon changed, and we got to see these beautiful giants, the baobab tree. And then we climbed some more.
Kom, sies 'n paar vere vir jou.
Ja,
Is 'n paar vere.
ek kolekteer nesie, veertjies.
Wat is it?
Red-billed woodhoopoo.
At the top of the mountain, Mark showed us some secret ancient rock art. This was very unusual type of art, and very few people have seen this.
Dis bitter min mense wat dit nog gesien het.
Dis soos 'n eland of iets.
The vegetation was becoming very thick now, and we found those buffaloes that we saw their spoor earlier. They spooked quickly, and I was much too slow to catch them on camera. Mark told us to leave our backpacks behind and only bring cameras. We couldn't believe our eyes. We saw the river that we left that morning and realized just how much we climbed. Yes, I was feeling it in my hips, upper legs, arms and shoulders at this stage. However, we couldn't believe the view. This is called Lanner Gorge. It has been formed by the river sand cliffs over the millennia. And you could see all the way into Zimbabwe. We left in high spirits and looked for a shady spot to rest. Some of us do this better than others. Nou slaap. Nou slaap. Nou kan ek hierdie footage gebruik.
Nee, jy kan.
We were teasing each other about our high school music taste as Mark took out his phone and surprised us with his party side.
Okay, dankie.
Kom dit nou. Playlist.
Ek dog jy doen die roete.
Ja, that's actually the song.
Dis 'n megamix.
Dis sy.
Remix, megamix, remix.
Thank you for that throwback to the 90s, Mark.
Petroleum aromatica.
Contrary to what you're hearing, this flower has got nothing to do with Petronella.
Ja, dit.
Kry jy bloemetjie? Ja, ja, hy's sterk.
Weet jy wat se Engelse naam is?
Wat is die wetenskaplike naam dan?
Iets van petroleum
aromatica.
By now, I was feeling the day's heat and the kilometers, and I was wishing that the campsite would be near. Luckily, we started to see the river again, and we knew this meant that we were not too far. The views were once again amazing.
Ek dink in die 2000 vloede, die water van daai berg tot daai berg, 'n kilometer weer
Wow.
die Boemerfees.
Was hier grensdraad?
Hier was met die in die 60 en 70 het 'n beestraat hier opgesit.
At last we could see the water, and we were starting to make our descent. Not before we almost stepped on the puff adder. We soon realized this area had many snakes, as we saw tracks everywhere, and also another puff adder on our way down to the river. It's the small things that scare me, not the lions or the elephants. We were very happy to throw the backpacks off and pitch our tents. We couldn't wait to get down to the river, as we were so hot by now. Luckily, it made a big, shallow sandbank, and we just went to lie flat in the water. It was time to take out our giant hiking chairs and pour us a whiskey.
Slange.
Having been a guide for more than 30 years, Mark had many stories to share. Some of them a bit gnarly.
Baie mense sê jy's uitdaging so ons sê. Maar dit is 2.5 meter, hy was
The next morning we could wake up at a slower pace.
Baie lekker. Ons het leeu's gehoor en hyenas. En daar was vrugtevleermuise in die Nyana Bessie op ons tente. So hulle het baljaar, bietjie guano vanoggend op ons tente. Maar verder was dit briljant. As jy dit als in het,
As ek kyk vir die res van die week.
so ek koffie debat nie.
We headed down to the water to achieve some form of decency and to also wash our dishes. Lillian was first scouting the area.
Maklik om te skep as mens nie inloop.
I was on water bottle duty this morning. This meant pajama pants pulled up and ankle deep into the water.
Môre,
Môre.
het julle lekker geslaap?
Amazeballs.
Ene-
Heerlik.
Enige diere gehoor?
Leeu's, vleermuise, olifante of buffels wat goed gebreek het hier. Ons het slange gesien gister. 'n
Twee.
Paar. reptiele. Ja. Sy het 'n lekker waan gesien.
Net 2 slange en 2 popvadders. Kom ons wees net spesifiek. Nog 'n borrel?
Okay. As ek net die laaste een.
Great.
Rol hulle rond en hulle
And as you can see, my hair is at its most sprightly this time of day.
Nee, myne is al gewen gedoen. Ek het 'n groene gehad, moet ek nou vir my hierdie een gekoop en toe. Ja. Was lekker en ek hou van die ketchup.
Today we will leave the backpacks behind and share one between the three of us and leave Nerys to carry her heavy rifle, as we will come back to this campsite tonight. Mark was going to show us a fresh water spring in the mountains, where lions used to frequent. Sadly, this area has become devoid of lions as the northern part of Kruger is vulnerable to poisoning. Nerys was on first rifle duty today. Mark was discussing the route with her, and we were scouting all the fresh snake tracks around us.
Dis as jy saam met familie loop. En dis jou cheerleaders.
This area's vegetation is very different to the previous 2 days, as there was a lot of flood damage in the big flood of the year 2000. Many of the big old trees were taken out or uprooted. These are the twin baobabs, 2 old giants, in the middle of what almost feels like a semi-arid area. Luckily, they survived the 2000 flood. And one wonders what else they have survived in the hundreds of years that they have lived on this planet. If only these 2 old guys could talk. Als alarm.
Hoe cool is daai antenna?
It was quickly becoming hotter, and the bush was becoming thicker near the mountain. The guides were on high alert, as visibility was not easy. We did see eland, however. We reached the freshwater spring. This was a welcome sight, as by now our bottles were empty and we needed the cool water on our faces. After a quick break and Mark's legendary cucumber and cream cheese crackers, we started to head back. But not before encountering something very special.
So ek hier gaan 'n stream kom hier.
Okay.
Daar's ook sy in die middel.
Oh, beautiful. Goeiemôre Tannie. Yes, that's good.
Dis mos net baie weer by af. Ja.
Einde Julie gaan dit lekker koud wees.
Hoorie,
Daai is min rook.
dit's vir my te koud.
Our last morning was bittersweet, and we could all easily have spent another week in this pristine area. After what was now our normal morning routine, we got the packs that were slightly lighter by now on our backs and started to make our way. Mark was telling us the effect that floods can have on the Limpopo and the Luvuvu River when they meet. This forms a suction effect in this area and can form huge dunes. This was definitely one of the best hikes that we have done, and we have already planned our next one for end of July. So stay tuned and get out there.